My name is Sadie, and I'm 30 years old. Last year at my birthday party, my sister Harper handed me a DNA test kit, laughing so hard the room joined in. She said it was a joke, something to explain why I'm the family's biggest letdown. I smiled, but her words cut deeper than I let on. Everyone was watching, and I felt so small. Then I noticed Mom's face pale and quiet, like she knew something I didn't. Ever had a gift that changed your life? I'm curious where you're watching from. Hit like if family secrets hit close to home and subscribe for more real stories. I'm sitting cross-legged on my couch, the DNA test kit staring at me from the coffee table. It's been a week since my birthday, and Harper's laughter still echoes in my head. I keep replaying that moment, her voice sharp, calling me the family's biggest disappointment. I laughed it off then, but now alone in my tiny apartment, it stings. My place is a mess. Dishes piled in the sink, a half-dead plant by the window. It's not much, but it's mine. I pick up the kit, turning it over in my hands. The box is sleek, promising answers about your roots. I don't know why I'm even considering this. Maybe I want to prove Harper wrong, show her I'm not just some failure. Or maybe I'm just curious. I've always felt a little out of place, like I don't quite fit with her and Lucas. I grab my laptop and search for reviews on the test. People talk about finding distant cousins learning their part Viking. It sounds fun, harmless. But as I read, I stumble on stories of surprises, secrets uncovered, families torn apart. My stomach twists. What if there's something I'm not supposed to know? I shake it off. This is just Harper's stupid joke. I'm overthinking it. I open the kit, swab my cheek, and seal the sample. It feels like a small act of defiance, like I'm taking back control. I drop it in the mail the next morning on my way to work, telling myself it's no big deal. At the office, I'm distracted, staring at spreadsheets but not seeing them. Tessa, my coworker, notices. We're not close, but she's kind, always bringing in cookies for the team. She slides into the chair next to me, her curly hair bouncing. You okay, Sadie? You've been zoning out all day. I hesitate, then tell her about the DNA test, leaving out the worst of Harper's words. Tessa's eyes widen. That's bold. I did one a couple years ago. Found out my dad wasn't my dad. Messed me up for a while. Her voice is casual, but there's pain there. I freeze my coffee cup halfway to my mouth. What did you do? I ask. She shrugs. Talked to my mom. Got the truth. It hurt, but it was better than wondering. Her words linger heavy. I nod, but inside I'm rattled. What truth could I even want? That night I'm rummaging through a box of old keepsakes looking for something to ground me. I find a photo of me and Dad taken at a county fair when I was maybe 8. He's got his arm around me, both of us grinning, cotton candy in my hand. I trace his face, missing him so much it aches. He died when I was 10, a heart attack out of nowhere. I've always been told I have his smile, but looking now, I don't see it. My nose is different, my eyes too. I push the thought away, but it's like a splinter lodged deep. I tuck the photo back in the box, my chest tight. Harper calls as I'm brushing my teeth, her voice bright and cutting. So Sadie, you actually send in that DNA test? What? Hoping you're secretly a princess. I grip the phone, toothpaste dripping onto the sink. Maybe I just want to know who I am, I snap. She laughs sharp and cold. Good luck with that. Don't expect to find anything impressive. I hang up my hands, shaking. I look in the mirror, searching my face for answers. Who am I really? The question feels bigger now, and I'm not sure I'm ready for what's coming. I'm at a coffee shop with Lucas, my older brother, the one who always seems to have it together. It's a sunny Saturday, the kind where everyone's out with their dogs and strollers, but I'm on edge. We're catching up or trying to over lattes and a shared scone. Lucas is in his usual pressed button-up, talking about his latest case at the hospital. I nod, half listening, my phone burning a hole in my pocket. I know the DNA results could come any day now, and I keep checking my email like a nervous tick. Lucas notices, raising an eyebrow. You waiting for a hot date or something, Sadie? He teases, but his smile doesn't reach his eyes. I force a laugh, crumbling a piece of the scone. Just work stuff, I lie. I don't know why I don't tell him about the test. Maybe because he's always been the golden child, the one Mom brags about at family dinners. I love him, but sometimes it feels like he's on their side, not mine. My phone buzzes and my heart lurches. It's the email from the DNA company. Subject: your ancestry results are here. I hesitate, my thumb hovering over the screen. Lucas is mid-sentence, something about a new surgical technique, but I can't focus. Sorry, I need to check this, I mutter, opening the email. The results load a colorful pie chart of my heritage. I scan it, expecting to see the usual mix Mom always talked about: Irish and German, maybe some Scandinavian thrown in. But the numbers don't add up. There's a chunk labeled unknown origin, and when I click into the family matches, my stomach drops. No close relatives, no Harper, no Lucas, no Mom, just a few distant cousins I've never heard of. My hands go clammy. This has to be a mistake. I look up at Lucas, who's watching me now, his fork paused over his plate. Everything okay? He asks, his voice too careful. I swallow, my mouth dry. Lucas, you ever do one of those DNA tests? I ask, trying to sound casual. He shrugs, leaning back in his chair. Nah, no need. I know who I am. He chuckles, but it's forced. I take a deep breath and show him my phone, the screen glowing with the results. Mine says, I don't match anyone. Like not you or Harper or Mom. What does that even mean? My voice cracks and I hate it. Lucas squints at the screen, then hands it back, his jaw tight. Those things are junk, Sadie. Half the time they're wrong. You're probably holding the swab wrong or something. He's trying to joke, but his eyes dart away and he spills his coffee, a rare fumble for him. The brown liquid pools on the table and he grabs napkins, cursing under his breath. I press harder. But what if it's not wrong? What if there's something Mom didn't tell us? Like about me? My voice is louder now, and a couple at the next table glances over. Lucas sighs, rubbing his temple. Sadie, you're blowing this out of proportion. Mom would have said something if there was anything to know. Just drop it, okay? His tone is sharp, the kind he uses when he's done with a conversation. I stare at him, my chest tightening. He's never shut me down like this before. I want to push to demand answers, but his expression stops me, a mix of annoyance and something else, maybe fear. I shove my phone back in my pocket, the results burning in my mind. We finish our lunch in silence, the scone untouched between us. As we walk out, Lucas claps a hand on my shoulder, his grip too firm. Don't stress, kid. You're one of us, always will be. But his words feel hollow, like he's trying to convince himself. I nod, forcing a smile, but my mind is racing. Why is he so quick to dismiss this? What does he know? I head home, the city blurring around me, my thoughts spiraling. Tessa's words from work echo her story about her dad not being her dad. I pull out my phone and text her, my fingers trembling. Can we talk? I think something's really wrong. As I hit send, a chill runs through me. Whatever this is, it's bigger than I thought, and I'm not sure I'm ready to face it. I'm at Mom's house for Sunday dinner, the air thick with the smell of roasted chicken and garlic mashed potatoes. The dining room is the same as always, floral wallpaper, a chandelier that's too fancy for our family. Harper's already holding court, her laugh sharp, as she tells a story about some big case she won. Lucas is nodding along, passing the green beans. I'm quiet, picking at my plate, the DNA results like a weight in my chest. I haven't told anyone but Lucas, and after he brushed me off at the coffee shop, I've been stewing. I need answers, and Mom's the only one who might have them. After dessert, while Harper and Lucas argue over who gets the last slice of pie, I follow Mom into the kitchen. She's rinsing dishes, her back to me, humming softly. I clear my throat, my hands sweaty. Mom, can we talk? She turns, her smile fading when she sees my face. I pull out my phone, the DNA report still open, and hold it out. I got the results from that test Harper gave me. It says I don't match you or Harper or Lucas. What's going on? My voice is steady, but my heart's pounding. Mom's hands freeze on a plate, water dripping onto the counter. She looks at the screen, then away, her lips pressing into a thin line. Sadie, those tests aren't always right. You know that. They mix things up all the time. Her voice is too bright, like she's trying to sell me something. I step closer, my frustration bubbling up. But this isn't a mix-up, Mom. There's no match at all. Did something happen when I was born? Did you and Dad, I don't know, adopt me or something? The words feel heavy, unreal, but I need her to say it. She sets the plate down hard, the clink loud in the quiet kitchen. Don't be ridiculous, Sadie. You're my daughter. Always have been. Her eyes are wet, but she won't look at me. I notice her fingers clutching that locket. She never takes off the one with the tiny clasp I've never seen open. Mom, please, I say softer now, almost begging. If there's something I need to know, just tell me. I can handle it. But she shakes her head, turning back to the sink. There's nothing to tell. Let it go. Before I can push further, Harper's voice cuts through from the doorway. What's this about Sadie? Stirring up trouble again, she's leaning against the frame, arms crossed, her eyes glinting with something mean. I spin around, my face hot. I'm just asking Mom about the DNA test. You're the one who gave it to me, Harper. What, you didn't think I'd actually use it? She laughs. But it's cold, like glass breaking. Oh, please. You're so desperate for attention, you'll cling to anything. A fake test result. That's your big moment. Her words hit like a slap, and I feel my throat tighten. Lucas appears behind her, his face tense. Harper, ease up, he says, but she ignores him. Stepping closer to me. You're always like this, Sadie. Making everything about you. Poor little Sadie. The family screw-up needs a conspiracy to feel special. I'm shaking now, anger and hurt twisting together. Maybe I wouldn't feel like a screw-up if you didn't keep reminding me, I snap. Mom turns her voice sharp. Both of you stop it, but Harper's not done. You want the truth, Sadie. You're embarrassing yourself, and you're stressing Mom out for no reason. I look at Mom, hoping she'll back me up, but she's staring at the floor, her hands still gripping that locket. Lucas steps in, touching my arm. Sadie, let's cool off. Okay, but I pull away, my eyes burning. No, I'm not the one who needs to cool off. I just want the truth. My voice cracks, and I hate how small I sound. Harper smirks like she's won. I glance at Greg, my stepdad, sitting silently at the table watching us. His face is unreadable, but there's something in his eyes, like he knows more than he's letting on. I turn back to Mom, my heart sinking. If you won't tell me, I'll find out myself, I say, my voice low. I grab my coat and head for the door, the weight of their silence chasing me out. I'm back in my apartment, the door slamming behind me, my coat still on. The silence is deafening, broken only by the hum of the fridge. My hands are shaking as I sink onto the couch, replaying the dinner. Harper's smirk. Mom's refusal to look at me, Lucas, trying to play peacemaker. It's like they're all in on something and I'm the only one left out. I pull out my phone, scrolling through the DNA report again, as if staring at it will make it make sense. No matches. No family. Just me alone, with a truth I can't grasp. I open my laptop, desperate for answers. I start Googling DNA test errors, adoption stories, anything that might explain this. Forums are full of people like me, confused, hurt, finding out their lives were built on lies. One post catches my eye. A woman who discovered she was adopted after a test, her parents denying it until she found proof. My heart races. Proof. That's what I need. I dig through a drawer, pulling out my birth certificate, something I haven't looked at in years. The paper is crisp, official, but the hospital name jumps out, St. Mary's. I frown. Mom always said I was born at County General, where Lucas and Harper were born. Why is this different? I grab my phone and call St. Mary's, my voice unsteady as I explain I'm looking for birth records. The woman on the line is polite but firm. We can't release those without a court order, ma'am. Privacy laws. I thank her and hang up, my stomach churning. A court order, that's not something I can just get. I feel like I'm hitting a wall every door I try slamming shut. I pace the room, my bare feet cold on the hardwood. My eyes land on a box in the corner, one I haven't touched since I moved in. It's full of Dad's old stuff, things Mom gave me after he died. Maybe there's something in there, some clue. I kneel beside the box, pulling out faded letters, his old watch, a dog-eared book of poetry. Then I find it a small envelope yellowed with age addressed to Mom in Dad's handwriting. My fingers hesitate like I'm about to cross a line I can't uncross. I open it, unfolding a single page. The words are careful, deliberate. Diane, we made a difficult choice for her sake. It's the only way to keep her safe. I hope you can forgive me. My breath catches. Safe from what? Who is her me? The letter is dated a month before I was born. I read it again, my mind spinning. This isn't just a mix-up. This is something they planned, something they hid. My phone buzzes, snapping me out of it. It's a text from Harper. Stop digging, Sadie. You're only going to hurt yourself. And Mom. I stare at the screen, my blood boiling. Hurt myself. She's the one who started this, shoving that test in my face like a weapon. I want to text back to scream at her, but my fingers freeze. Her words feel like a warning, not just a taunt. What does she know? I toss the phone onto the couch, my head pounding. I look back at the letter, Dad's words blurring as my eyes fill. He was my hero, the one who made me feel like I belonged. Now even that feels like a lie. I curl up on the couch, the letter still in my hand. The apartment feels smaller, like the walls are closing in. I think about Tessa, her offer to help, her story about finding the truth. I want to call her, but it's late and I'm too raw. Instead, I sit there, the weight of Dad's words sinking deeper. A difficult choice. Safety. Forgiveness. What did they do? What are they still hiding? My chest aches, a mix of anger and grief. I'm not just fighting for answers now, I'm fighting for who I am. And the more I push, the more it feels like my family is slipping away. I'm sitting in a lawyer's office, the kind of place that smells like old leather and polished wood. The call came out of nowhere this morning, Mr. Coleman, our family's estate lawyer, saying he needed to see me urgently about matters concerning the estate. My hands are clammy as I grip the armrests of a stiff chair, the receptionist's typing the only sound. I'm alone. No Mom, no Harper, no Lucas. Mr. Coleman, a gray-haired man with a calm voice, sits across from me, a thick folder open on his desk. Sadie, he starts, this is about your father's will. There's a provision we need to discuss. My stomach twists. Dad's will. He died 20 years ago, and I thought everything was settled. I lean forward, my voice shaky. What provision? Why now? Mr. Coleman adjusts his glasses, pulling out a sealed envelope with my name in Dad's handwriting. My heart stops. I'd recognize that slanted script anywhere. Your father left this for you, he says with strict instructions. It was only to be opened if a specific condition was met. I stare at the envelope, my throat tight. What condition, I ask, barely above a whisper. He clears his throat, his eyes kind but serious. A DNA test confirming your identity. The words hit like a punch. I grip the chair harder, my knuckles white. Confirming my identity. Why would that need confirming? My mind races back to the DNA results, the no matches, Dad's letter about a difficult choice. Mr. Coleman slides a photo across the desk, and I freeze. It's Dad younger holding a newborn in a hospital room. Me, it has to be me. But the hospital bracelet on the baby's wrist reads, Baby Larson. Not our last name. I look up, my voice trembling. Who's Larson? Mr. Coleman's face softens. Sadie, your father stipulated that this letter could only be given to you if a DNA test showed you weren't biologically related to the family. He wanted to protect you, but also ensure you'd know the truth if you ever sought it. My chest feels like it's caving in. Protect me. From what I reach for the photo, my hands shaking. The baby's face is blurry, but Dad's smile is so familiar, so full of love. Yet that bracelet, that name, it's like a crack in everything I've ever known. Did Mom know about this? I ask, my voice breaking. He nods slowly. Your mother and siblings were informed of this meeting. They chose not to attend. The words land like a betrayal, sharp and cold. They knew. They knew this was coming, and they left me here alone. I think of Mom's trembling hands, Harper's cruel texts, Lucas's nervous coffee spill. They've been hiding this, all of them. I stare at the envelope, Dad's handwriting blurring as my eyes burn. What's in the letter, I ask, almost afraid of the answer. Mr. Coleman slides it toward me, but his voice is gentle. That's for you to read when you're ready. But Sadie, your father also left a trust in your name separate from the family estate. It's substantial, and it's yours alone. He wanted you to have a future no matter what. A trust money. I don't care about that right now. My whole life feels like a lie, and all I can think about is that envelope, what secrets it holds. I pick it up, the paper heavy in my hands. My fingers trace my name, and I'm torn between ripping it open and running out the door. What did you do, Dad? What did you keep from me? The room feels too small, the air too thick, and I know whatever's in this letter is going to change everything. I stumble out of the lawyer's office, the envelope clutched in my hand, my legs shaky as I make it to my apartment. The world outside is a blur, cars honking, people laughing, but it all feels distant, like I'm underwater. I lock the door behind me and collapse onto the floor, my back against the wall. The envelope is still sealed, Dad's handwriting staring up at me like a challenge. I'm terrified to open it, but I can't wait any longer. My fingers tremble as I tear it open, pulling out 2 pages, the paper thin and creased. Dad's words spill out, each one a knife. Sadie, my girl. It begins. If you're reading this, you know the truth or part of it. You're not our biological daughter. We adopted you to keep you safe. Your birth mother was in danger, and your birth father was a man who hurt people. I promised her you'd have a good life. I'm so sorry we lied. My breath catches a sob, choking me. Adopted. Safe from what? Who? I keep reading, my hands shaking. We never told Harper or Lucas. It was our burden, mine and your mom's. I wanted to tell you, but I couldn't bear to lose you. Lose me. He was my dad, my everything, and now he's saying I was never really his. There's more, a paragraph about a key taped to the second page leading to a safety deposit box with the rest of the story. My fingers brush the key, small and cold, but it's the last line that breaks me. You're my daughter in every way that matters. Please forgive us. Forgive how? My whole life, every memory of him tucking me in, teaching me to ride a bike, feels tainted. I press the letter to my chest, tears soaking the paper. I'm not just Sadie anymore. I'm a secret, a choice, a lie they all carried. My phone rings, shattering the silence. It's Harper, her name flashing like a warning. I almost ignore it, but something in me snaps. I answer, my voice raw. What do you want? She doesn't miss a beat, her tone venomous. You went to the lawyer, didn't you? You just couldn't leave it alone. You're tearing this family apart, Sadie. And for what? Some pathetic need to be special. I'm on my feet now, pacing, my voice rising. I'm tearing it apart. You knew, Harper. You all knew, and you lied to me. She laughs, bitter and cruel. Knew what? That you're not one of us. Yeah, I figured it out years ago. Dad always loved you more, the poor little orphan. And now you're ruining Mom's life with this stunt. Her words are a gut punch, each one landing harder than the last. Orphan. Not one of us. I grip the phone, my vision blurring. You're wrong, I whisper, but it's weak and she hears it. Keep telling yourself that. You're a stranger, Sadie. Always have been. The line goes dead, and I drop the phone, my knees buckling. A stranger. My eyes fall to the key glinting on the floor. There's more to know, more pain waiting, but right now I'm drowning. My family, my identity, everything I thought I was, it's all crumbling and I don't know how to stop it. I wake up on the floor, the letter from Dad crumpled against my chest, the key glinting beside me. My eyes are swollen, my throat raw, but something shifts inside me. Harper's words, her venom, they're still there, but they don't own me. Not anymore. I pick up the key, its weight grounding me. Dad left this for me, a piece of the truth he trusted me to face. I'm done waiting for Mom or Harper to decide what I deserve to know. Today I'm taking the next step. I shower, change into a clean sweater, and head to the bank where the safety deposit box is. The morning is crisp, the city waking up with coffee carts and joggers. My heart's pounding, but my steps are steady. The bank is quiet, all marble floors and hushed voices. I show the key to a clerk, a young woman with a kind smile, and she leads me to a vault. Box 472, she says, unlocking a small drawer. She leaves me alone and I slide the key in my breath, catching as the lock clicks. Inside there's a thin folder, a faded Polaroid, and a leather-bound journal. My hands shake as I open the folder first. It's adoption papers, my name typed neatly at the top, dated 3 days after my birth. The signatures are Dad's and Mom's, but the biological mother's name stops me cold. Ellen Marie Larson. The Polaroid shows a woman, maybe 20, with tired eyes and a soft smile, holding a baby wrapped in a blue blanket. Me. I touch her face, my chest aching. She looks like someone who loved me, even if just for a moment. The journal is Dad's pages filled with his tight, careful handwriting. I flip to the first entry, dated a month after my adoption. Ellen came to us scared for her life. Her boyfriend was dangerous, tied to bad people. She begged us to take her baby to keep her safe. We said yes, but it's heavy knowing we're lying to Sadie. My stomach twists. Dangerous, bad people. I keep reading, each page a glimpse into Dad's guilt, his love, his fear that the truth would break me. One entry from when I was 5 makes my eyes sting. Sadie laughed so hard today, chasing butterflies. She's ours, but I dread the day she asks who she really is. I close the journal, my hands trembling. This is more than I expected, heavier. My birth father wasn't just some guy. He was someone Dad feared, someone who could hurt me. I slip the photo and papers into my bag, keeping the journal out. I need to know more, but not here, not now. As I leave the bank, my phone buzzes. It's Tessa checking in after my text last night. Meet me at the library, I type back. I need your help. I'm not doing this alone anymore. At the library, Tessa's waiting by the computers, her face lighting up when she sees me. You okay? She asks, her voice low. I nod, but my hands are still clutching the journal. I found something, I say, showing her the photo. My birth mom, Ellen Larson. I need to know who she was. Tessa's eyes widen, but she doesn't hesitate. Let's start with public records. Newspapers, maybe. We sit at a terminal, and she types Ellen's name into a database. My heart's racing, but for the first time I feel like I'm moving forward, not just falling apart. This is my story now, and I'm writing the next page. Tessa's fingers fly across the keyboard, pulling up old newspaper archives while I sit beside her, the library's hum fading into the background. My eyes keep drifting to the Polaroid of Ellen tucked in my bag. The search feels like a lifeline, but it's also terrifying, like I'm peeling back layers of my own skin. Tessa pauses, squinting at the screen. Here's something she says, clicking a grainy article from 1995. The headline reads, Local woman missing, police suspect foul play. My breath catches. Ellen Larson, 22, vanished after leaving a diner job. No suspects named, no body found. I stare at her name, my chest tight. Was this her? My mother. Tessa keeps digging, but I'm only half listening, my mind racing. Ellen was running from someone, Dad said. Her boyfriend, my birth father. I pull out his journal, flipping to a later entry I hadn't read yet. Ellen called last night, hysterical. He found her. I told her to stay hidden, but I'm scared for Sadie. My hands tremble. Whoever he wasn't just dangerous, he was a hunter. I look at Tessa, my voice low. If this is her, she didn't just leave me. She was taken. Tessa's eyes soften, and she nods, squeezing my hand. We'll keep looking, Sadie. You deserve to know. My phone vibrates, a text from Greg, my stepdad. Can we talk? Just us. Diner on 5th, 7 p.m. I hesitate, my thumb hovering. Greg's been a shadow in our family, quiet since he married Mom when I was 12. But his text after the lawyer's meeting saying Dad wanted to tell me sticks with me. I need answers, and he's offering. I text back, okay, and tell Tessa I'll call her later. She hugs me fierce and quick. You're stronger than you think, she says. I want to believe her. The diner is all chrome and neon, smelling of fries and coffee. Greg's already there in a corner booth nursing a mug. He looks older than I remember, his hair grayer, his eyes heavy. I slide in across from him, my bag with Dad's journal and Ellen's photo between us. "Thanks for meeting me," I say, my voice steadier than I feel. He nods, setting his mug down. "I owe you this, Sadie. Your dad, he was my friend. When he died, I promised to look out for you." His words catch me off guard, warm but heavy. I lean forward, my hands clasped. "What did you know, Greg, about me, about the adoption?" He sighs, glancing out the window at the darkening street. "Everything. Your mom and dad took you in to save you. Ellen was your mom's best friend from high school. She got mixed up with a bad guy, someone tied to some rough people. When she got pregnant, she knew he'd never let her go. So she gave you to your parents." His voice cracks, and I see his hands shake. "I wanted them to tell you, but your mom was terrified you'd hate her." I swallow hard, my throat tight. "And Harper, did she know Greg's eyes meet mine, and there's pain there?" "She figured it out when you were kids. Your dad was so protective of you, more than her or Lucas. She got jealous, thought he loved you more because you weren't his. It's why she's so hard on you." My chest aches. Harper's cruelty suddenly sharper, rooted in something deeper than I realized. I think of her laughter at my birthday, her cold texts. She's been punishing me for years for something I didn't choose. I pull out Ellen's photo, sliding it across the table. "Was this her?" Greg's face crumples and he nods. "Yeah, that's Ellen." He pauses, then reaches into his jacket, pulling out a thin silver bracelet, simple with a tiny heart charm. "Your dad kept this. It was hers. He wanted you to have it." I take it, my fingers tracing the cool metal. It's like holding a piece of her, of me. My eyes sting, but I don't cry. "Not yet." "Thank you," I whisper. Greg nods, his voice soft. "You're not alone in this, Sadie. Remember that." I leave the diner, the bracelet in my pocket, Ellen's photo in my bag. The night air is cool, and I walk slowly. My thoughts clearer than they've been in weeks. I'm not just a secret anymore. I'm Ellen's daughter, Dad's daughter, my own person. Harper's jealousy, Mom's fear, they don't define me. I stop under a streetlight, pulling out the bracelet and slipping it onto my wrist. It fits perfectly, like it's always belonged there. I stand there, the city buzzing around me, and for the first time I feel whole, ready to face whatever comes next. I'm standing in Mom's living room, the air heavy with the scent of her lavender candles. It's been 2 days since my talk with Greg, and I've asked for this family meeting, my first time calling the shots. Mom's on the couch, her hands folded tightly in her lap. Harper's by the window, arms crossed, her face a mask of defiance. Lucas sits in an armchair, his eyes flicking between us, uneasy. I've got Dad's journal and the adoption papers in a folder, Ellen's bracelet cool against my wrist. I'm not here to fight, but I'm done with secrets. I set the folder on the coffee table, my voice steady. I know the truth. I was adopted. Ellen Larson was my birth mother. Dad's journal explains it all. I pause, watching their faces. Mom's eyes widen, her breath catching. Harper's jaw tightens, but she doesn't move. Lucas leans forward, his hands clasped. "Sadie," I continue, "I'm not angry anymore. I just need us to be honest." My words feel like a release, like I'm finally breathing after holding my breath for weeks. Mom's the first to break. She covers her face, a soft sob escaping. "Sadie, I'm so sorry," she whispers. "We thought we were protecting you. Ellen was my best friend, and when she came to us, terrified, we couldn't say no." Her voice cracks, and she looks at me, her eyes raw. "I was so scared you'd hate me if you knew." I nod, my throat tight. I want to reach for her, but my feet stay rooted. Her pain is real, but so is mine, and I'm not ready to bridge that gap yet. Harper scoffs, her voice cutting through the quiet. "So that's it. You dig up some old papers, and now we're all supposed to cry and hug it out." She steps forward, her eyes blazing. "You've got no idea what you're doing, Sadie. You're breaking Mom's heart, dragging this out like it's your personal soap opera." I meet her gaze, my heart pounding but my voice calm. This isn't about you, Harper. It's about me knowing who I am. She laughs sharp and bitter. Who you are. You're the kid we took and the one Dad obsessed over. And now you're waving it in our faces. Lucas stands, his voice low. Harper, enough. But she ignores him, her words spilling faster. You think you're so special, don't you? Finding your little journal, your tragic backstory. You're still the same Sadie, messing everything up. Her voice trembles, not just with anger, but something deeper, like she's unraveling. I see it now, the hurt behind her cruelty, the years of feeling less than Dad's favorite. But I don't flinch. I'm not messing anything up, I say quietly. I'm just done pretending. Mom's crying harder now, her shoulders shaking. Please stop, she says, her voice barely audible. I look at her, my chest aching. I didn't want to hurt her more, but I can't go back to the lies. I open the folder, pulling out the adoption papers and sliding them toward her. These are real, Mom. So is Ellen. I'm not asking you to fix it. I just need you to see me. She stares at the papers, her hands trembling, but she doesn't touch them. Harper turns away, her back to us, and I catch a glimpse of her wiping her eyes. Lucas moves to Mom's side, his hand on her shoulder, but his face is drawn like he's carrying his own weight. The room feels frozen, all of us locked in this moment, no one knowing what comes next. I stand there, Ellen's bracelet a quiet anchor, waiting for something, anything to shift. But all I hear is Mom's soft crying, Harper's ragged breathing, and the ticking of the clock on the mantel counting down to a truth we can't escape. I leave Mom's house without another word, the adoption papers still on the table untouched. Harper's silhouette by the window lingers in my mind as I drive away. Her shoulders hunched, no longer the untouchable sister I've always known. The night is quiet. Streetlights casting long shadows across the road. My hands grip the wheel, Ellen's bracelet catching the glow of passing cars. I feel lighter, like I've shed a skin, but there's a hollowness too, a space where my family used to fit. At my apartment, I sit on the balcony, a mug of tea cooling in my hands. The city hums below, distant sirens and laughter, but I'm alone with my thoughts. I pull out my phone and draft a letter to Harper, not to send yet, just to get it out. I'm not your enemy, I write. I just needed the truth. I'm setting boundaries now for me. Each word feels like carving stone, deliberate, final. I save the draft and lean back, staring at the stars. They're faint, drowned out by the city's glow, but they're there steady. Tessa calls, her voice warm through the speaker. How'd it go, she asks. I tell her about the meeting, Mom's tears, Harper's anger, Lucas's silence. It's out now. I say, my voice soft. But it's not what I thought it'd be. Tessa pauses, then says, You stood up for yourself, Sadie. That's huge. I nod, though she can't see me. She tells me she's going to a family reunion this weekend, inspired by my courage to face the truth. You're not just finding your story, she says. You're helping me find mine. Her words settle in me, a small warmth against the ache. I spend the next day at a community center, my first time at an adoptee support group. The room is small, folding chairs in a circle, people sipping coffee from paper cups. I'm nervous, my fingers twisting the bracelet, but when it's my turn, I speak. I just found out I was adopted, I say, my voice steady. My family hid it, and it's been hard. Heads nod, eyes meet mine. No judgment. A woman across from me, maybe 50, shares her story of finding her birth family, the joy and the pain. It's not about replacing what you have, she says. It's about knowing all of you. I listen, feeling a thread of connection, like I'm not as alone as I thought. Back home, my phone buzzes with a text from Harper. I'm not reading your letter. Don't expect me to. The words sting, but they don't cut like they would have before. I set the phone down, my jaw tight. I've said what I needed to, and that's enough for now. I walk to my window, looking out at the city skyline, all sharp edges and flickering lights. Mom's face flashes in my mind, her hands hovering over those papers, too scared to touch them. Lucas's quiet guilt. Harper's trembling voice. They're all grappling with this just like me, but I can't carry their weight anymore. I slip the bracelet off, holding it up to the light. Ellen's heart charm glints a tiny piece of her I'll never fully know. I think about her running afraid, giving me up to save me. I think about Dad carrying that secret to his grave. The truth is out and it's changed us all, but it hasn't fixed anything. Not yet. I close my eyes, the city's pulse fading, and for a moment, I'm just me standing at the edge of something vast, not sure where it leads. The silence wraps around me, heavy, final, like the last note of a song I didn't choose to sing. I'm in my apartment, the morning light spilling through the window, soft and golden. I've been up since dawn, rearranging things, making the space feel more like me. A new rug, deep blue, lies under my feet, and I've hung a small shelf for my books, the ones I've been meaning to read for years. Ellen's bracelet rests on my wrist, a quiet companion. I'm different now, not the Sadie who walked into Mom's house with a folder of secrets. I'm still figuring out who I am, but I'm not afraid of the question anymore. Today I'm heading to an adoptee support group, the same one I tried last week. The community center is a short bus ride away, all brick and ivy with a garden out front blooming with marigolds. I walk in, my stomach fluttering, but it's not nerves, not exactly. It's anticipation, like I'm stepping into a place where I belong. The room is warm sunlight slanting through high windows, and about a dozen people sit in a circle, some familiar faces, some new. I take a seat, my hands folded in my lap, and when the facilitator nods at me, I speak. I'm Sadie. I say, my voice clear. I found out I was adopted a few months ago. It turned my world upside down, but I'm starting to see it as a beginning, not an end. The words feel true, solid, like stones I'm laying for a path. A woman named Nora, with kind eyes and gray streaks in her hair, smiles at me. She shared her story last time about finding her birth siblings after decades. After the meeting, she catches me by the coffee table, her voice soft. You've got a light in you, Sadie. Keep going. I nod, my chest warm, and we swap numbers, promising to grab lunch soon. Back home, I pull out a notebook, one I bought yesterday, its pages crisp and blank. I start writing, not a letter to anyone. Just thoughts, memories, questions. I write about the summer I was 7, catching fireflies with Dad in the backyard, how he'd laugh when I'd miss one. I write about Ellen, imagining her at 22, brave enough to give me up. The act of writing feels like untangling a knot, each word a small release. I pause, my pen hovering, and realize I'm not just grieving anymore. I'm building something, a story that's mine. My phone lights up with a call from Mom. I stare at her name, my thumb hesitating. Part of me wants to answer to hear her voice, but I'm not there yet. I let it go to voicemail, setting the phone face down. I'm not shutting her out, not forever, but I need this space, this quiet, to know myself first. I think about Nora's words about light, and I feel it faint but growing like a candle in a dark room. I close the notebook, my fingers brushing the cover, and for the first time in months, I'm not chasing answers. I'm just here, breathing whole. I'm at a small lake on the edge of town, a place I found last week while driving aimlessly. The water is still reflecting the late afternoon sky, all pinks and purples. I'm sitting on a wooden bench, a notebook open in my lap, but I'm not writing, not yet. Ellen's bracelet catches the fading light, its heart charm glinting softly. I come here to think, to let the world slow down. Today I brought a letter I wrote to Ellen, not to send, but to hold, to say what I've carried for weeks. I unfold the paper, my handwriting neat and careful. Ellen, it starts, I don't know you, but I feel you. You gave me a chance, and I'm trying to make it count. I write about my life, the good parts, the messy ones, the way I'm learning to stand taller. I thank her for her courage, for choosing me over fear. The words are simple, but they feel like a bridge connecting me to her, to the woman who let me go so I could live. I fold the letter and slip it into my pocket, my fingers brushing the bracelet. A breeze ripples the lake, and I pick up a handful of wildflowers from the grass beside me, their petals soft and white. I stand walking to the water's edge and scatter them one by one. They float for a moment, then drift, carried by the current. It's not a goodbye, not exactly, but a release, a way to honor her without holding on too tight. I think about Dad, his hands guiding mine as we planted seeds in the garden, his voice promising I'd always be his. that promise holds even now, even through the truth. My phone buzzes in my bag, a text from Lucas. Harper's struggling, but she's respecting your space. I'm here if you need me. I read it twice, my thumb hovering over the screen. I'm not ready to reply, but his words settle something in me. Harper's pain is real, but it's not mine to fix. I think about Mom, her voicemail still unplayed, and I know I'll call her soon when the time feels right. For now, I'm choosing me this moment, this quiet. I sit back on the bench, the notebook still open. I write one line, slow and deliberate. I am enough. It's not a revelation, not a shout, just a truth I'm starting to believe. The lake is calm again, the flowers gone, the sky deepening to dusk. I close the notebook, my hands steady, and lean back, letting the world be. For the first time, I'm not running, not searching. I'm just Sadie here, whole in my own skin, ready for whatever comes next. I'm in a small coffee shop, the kind with mismatched mugs and chalkboard menus, waiting for Mom. It's been weeks since I stood in her living room, laying out the truth about my adoption. The air here smells of cinnamon and fresh grounds, and I'm at a corner table, my fingers tracing the rim of a ceramic cup. Ellen's bracelet is on my wrist, a quiet reminder of where I've been. I'm not the same Sadie who opened that DNA test scared and searching. I'm stronger now, not because I won, but because I chose to keep going. Mom walks in her coat dusted with early snow. She spots me and hesitates, her face softer than I remember. I nod, and she sits across from me, her hands fidgeting with her scarf. Sadie, she starts, her voice low. I've been thinking about what you said, about needing the truth. I was wrong to keep it from you. Her eyes meet mine, and they're tired but honest. I nod, my throat tight. I know you were trying to protect me, I say, but I needed to know who I am. She reaches for my hand, and I let her fingers warm against mine. You're my daughter, she says, her voice cracking. Always will be. But I should have trusted you with Ellen's story. I swallow hard, thinking of Ellen, her courage, her sacrifice. Tell me about her, I say, and Mom does. She talks about their high school days, Ellen's laugh, her love for painting, how she'd dream of opening an art shop. It's the first time I've heard Mom speak of her without fear, and it feels like a gift, a piece of my history reclaimed. We don't fix everything. There's no tearful hug, no perfect resolution. But we agree to keep talking, to rebuild slowly, one coffee at a time. As Mom leaves, promising to call tomorrow, I stay at the table watching snowflakes gather on the window. I feel lighter, not because the pain's gone, but because I'm not carrying it alone anymore. I pull out a small sketchbook, one I've started using to doodle little lines and shapes that calm my mind. I draw a simple curve like a horizon, and it feels right, like I'm mapping my own way forward. Later, I walk to the cemetery where Dad's buried, the ground crunching under my boots. His headstone is simple, just his name and dates, but it's enough. I kneel, brushing snow from the granite, and speak softly. I found her dad, Ellen, and I'm okay. My voice is steady, no tears this time. I tell him about the coffee shop, about Mom's stories, about the person I'm becoming. I thank him for loving me, for choosing me, even if it came with secrets. The wind picks up cold but gentle, and I stand, my hands in my pockets, feeling rooted, like I belong here, to him, to myself. Back home, I light a candle, its flame small but steady. I'm building new habits, small ones like sketching, like listening to music instead of scrolling my phone. These things ground me, remind me I'm more than my past. I think about Nora from the support group and Tessa, who's become a friend, their voices weaving into my days. They're not family, not yet, but there's something close, something I'm choosing. I sit by the window watching the snow fall, and for the first time I'm not looking back. I'm here now, breathing easy, ready to keep writing my story. The next morning I wake early, the apartment quiet, except for the soft hum of the heater. I'm different now, not because the world has changed, but because I've stopped fighting it. I make coffee, the ritual grounding me, and sit at my small kitchen table, a new habit I've carved out. I've started keeping a gratitude journal, jotting down small things each day, the way sunlight hits my plants. Nora's laugh over lunch. Tessa's texts checking in. It's not about erasing the past, but about making room for the present for me. I think about Harper, her absence a quiet ache. She hasn't reached out since my letter, and I've let that space be. I used to think I needed her approval, her love to feel whole. But standing in Mom's living room speaking my truth showed me I don't. I'm enough not because of who claims me, but because I claim myself. Lucas has been calling, leaving voicemails about family dinners, and I'll join them soon when I'm ready. For now, I'm building my own rhythm, one step at a time. Yesterday I went to an art supply store, a whim inspired by Mom's stories of Ellen's painting. I bought a small canvas and some watercolors, nothing fancy. I'm no artist, but last night I sat cross-legged on the floor, brushing colors across the canvas, blues and greens, blending into something soft like a memory of the lake. It wasn't about making something perfect. It was about creating, about letting my hands move without fear. That's what I'm learning, to live without fear of what I might find or lose. The lesson isn't grand, not the kind you frame on a wall. It's this: truth, even when it hurts, is a door, not a wall. It opened me to Ellen, to Dad's love, to my own strength. Family isn't just blood. It's the people who see you, who stay, who grow with you. And forgiveness, it starts inside, with the parts of yourself you've doubted. I'm still learning that, still growing, but I'm not running anymore. I'm here rooted, choosing every day to be Sadie, all of her. What truth have you faced that changed how you see yourself? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments, to know what's shaped you. If this story resonated, please give it a like, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who might need it. Thank you for listening, for being here with me. Here's to finding our way, one quiet step at a time.